So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think your resilience quotient is? What's your capacity to recover from the drama and the shenanigans of our lives? I'm not quite sure what mine is. I want to believe it's high. It kind of has to be, especially if you're a New Yorker and you dare to brave the streets of New York City. As they say, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And I believe that's probably very true. So what do you think? Hi, my name is Aubrey Lynch. Welcome to my channel, your place for reflection, self-awareness, getting to know yourself, love yourself, being yourself, celebrating yourself, sharing yourself, all of those things. Welcome and thank you for watching. Resilience is not something we think about a lot. It's there. We all have it to one level or another. It's a critical part of any kind of success. It's a critical part of life. You have to have it. And there are people who think that our younger generation has a lack of resilience, and they think that they're precious. I think every generation thinks the younger generation is precious. It's always harder for the older ones than it was for the younger ones. And that's how it's supposed to be. Life should be easier. And we also need resilience. So what's resilience? By definition, resilience is the capacity to recover. How quickly we bounce back when something doesn't go the way we plan. I don't know about the quick part, right? Because resilience could take time. And I don't think we should be judging ourselves for how long it takes to recover. So I prefer the definition, the capacity to recover. What is your capacity for recovering when you stumble? A better question may be, are you inspired by the challenges in your life? Are you defeated by them? Or are you somewhere in the middle? Like, are you the kind of person that wants to climb Mount Everest just because it's there? Or are you someone that would like to watch it on television? Better question is, in what ways do you respond to the challenges of your life? That's actually the question. Do you lean into them? Do you play victim to them? Do you whine about them? Are you like a boxer waiting to get back into the ring and face another challenge? Or are you someone that wants to kind of hide in the corner and let life tick by? And I ain't mad at you if you do that, because life can be a lot. All of that is about your resilience. I'm not quite the kind of person who wants to go and climb Mount Everest, but New York City for me at the time was my Mount Everest. Coming to here to dance was my Mount Everest, and I didn't shy away from that. Looking back now, if I could do that again, would I do it again? Now that I know all that's gone by, I don't know. I certainly have become more resilient by being here. And I would imagine, if you think about it, I'm sure you found yourself quite resilient in your life as well. So let's say resilience is the capacity to recover. Let's use dance as an example. I love dance as a metaphor. Ballet is very, very upright. You're very pulled, you're balanced, there's a center. The lines are long and round and they go off to infinity. And you're striving for this level of perfection. How many turns can you do without wobbling? How long can you balance in that perfectly beautiful shape? It's quite a mesmerizing and gorgeous technique, and there is very little room to wobble, right? When you step forward on that balance, you're supposed to look like you're floating and could stay there forever. Modern dance, on the other hand, is much more grounded, it's much more to the earth, using your thighs and your back, and it's much more fluid, and it's really the art of recovery. You go as far as you can without falling over and catch yourself. And if you fall, you swirl and swallow out of it and make it a step, right? Now, I'm exaggerating. Of course, there is risk-taking and off-balance in ballet, and there's very upright and long lines that go into infinity in modern dance. But the point is that life is the art of recovery. It's about pushing yourself just beyond your ability, just far enough that you don't fall over, just far enough so the audience goes, oh, wow, that's really something. It's really fun, I have to say. I miss it terribly, but I had my share, so I'm gonna celebrate that. I love it as a metaphor because you have to be resilient to do that. And if you ever saw someone dance and you see that moment where they're in the air, they're coming down, or they're swirling out of a turn and they're just about to, that moment, that's life. That's where life happens. And if you're not willing to go that far, that's what our teachers tell us. If you don't go to that place where you just about might fall over, you don't improve. You don't know your body, and you find yourself on stage falling. So you have to know your boundaries, know your limits, and be courageous enough to push them. So if you stick with that metaphor for a second, you go to class and you're training and you're rehearsing to do something that's just about beyond your ability, and you're daring to think that you can. So you try it, stumble, you do it again, and you can't seem to connect the shape, and hours, days, weeks, months later, you've learned to master this moment. And I think life's the same way. If we dare ourselves to go there, and we're sometimes afraid that if we go too far, we might stumble or fall on our metaphoric stage in front of thousands of people. And for some reason, that can be a very terrible thing. I dare you to make it a beautiful thing. I dare you to make it something that is beautiful and powerful and amazing as a swirling turn that a dancer might make on stage. As Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage. You can interpret that in many, many ways. And I think in this case, our stage is our life, and our choreography are the things that happen to us in life. They either happen to us or they happen because of us. Either way, they're happening, and they should happen. So what's all this talk about resilience, and why is it important? Well, resilience actually gives you a positive mindset because you think that I'm going to get through it. I can handle this. You are optimistic about the things that may happen. You believe that, okay, I'm going to take a chance here, and I've proven that I've gotten through these kind of things before, and I'll be positive about this, even if it may feel a bit scary. Resilient individuals keep a positive mindset even in the face of adversity because they've been there before. They know they're going to get through it. They understand that they have the capacity, right, to recover should things go south and pear-shaped. And oftentimes life does. And that can either be a terrifying, horrible thing, or it can be an adventure. You decide what that is. Resilient people see it as an adventure. They focus on solutions rather than the problems, viewing challenges as opportunities for learning, for growing, for getting to know themselves better, for being better people. Adaptability. Resilient people are adaptable. They learn how to become chameleons, right, as they navigate the ups and downs of their lives, and they're not afraid to take a chance, put on a new outfit. They're flexible and they adjust their strategies as they face their setbacks. Embracing change and remaining agile is really important. Self-regulation. Resilient people are really good at managing their emotions because they understand how to get through stuff. They are aware that they will react certain ways, certain situations, and they have been there before. They've gotten through them. And so the drama that can come when something happens is less because they understand that they're going to just weave their way through and figure it out. It's really important being able to navigate those emotions because they can really derail your day, your life. Strong support systems. It might not seem as obvious, but people aren't getting through these things by themselves. We have networks of people and friends, that person we go to when something goes wrong, to bounce ideas around, to help navigate, to help become that chameleon. So over time, these networks grow and people can depend on their friends and their loved ones, and sometimes professionals, to get them through. So resilience is not necessarily about being strong and tough inside. It's about having a network of people around you who can be strong for you when you can't. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having people there when you need them. Learned optimism is another good one. People that are resilient and who've been through a lot tend to have this kind of learned sense of optimism. They believe that things are going to be okay. They understand that setbacks are temporary, they're not permanent, and even these big things that can happen, losing a job or changing a relationship, even in those instances, as difficult as they may be, people understand that it's not forever. And it really isn't. Although sometimes I feel that it is, it's not. People get through. So if you're feeling like your resilience quotient is on the lower end, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Remember, these videos are about taking a look at yourself, reflecting and seeing yourself, and not judging yourself. It's loving what you find, understanding what you find, being curious about what you find, and be willing to make big changes to build the life that you want. So let's say we want to be more resilient. What can we do? Develop a growth mindset. Be in a space where you're in a constant state of learning. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to figure things out in front of people. Some people think that you should have the answer. They want you to have the answer. They talk about you because you don't. Who cares? Right? It's about you, not them. It's easy to forget that. It's okay to be in a state of learning. You're going to get better every day. As long as you're striving to be better than yesterday, that's all you can do. Cultivate a growth mindset and know that setbacks are temporary and just part of the gig. Build strong relationships. You're not an island, okay? You might want to be, sometimes I want to be. I can do it myself. I don't need anybody. Yeah, that may be true, but why? Right? Find people you trust, even one person, someone that you can really bounce your ideas around with, someone you can kind of talk through your situation, someone who's not going to judge you, someone who loves you for all of the stuff you go through, for all of your quirks and things. They love you and appreciate you and can remind you and be the anchor in your life. You have to have that. So when things happen, when you have these setbacks, when life challenges your resilience quotient, right? You have somewhere to go as a refuge to get yourself through it. Practice self-care. Be very conscious and purposeful about your time, your space, your living situation, your time alone, your music, your meditation, whatever it is that you do to kind of find that peace, to find that love, taking walks, drinking lots of water, getting sleep. These things, again, maybe seem obvious, but if you're taking care of yourself in a state of purposeful self-care, when things happen, you know what to do. And when they happen, you're already in a state of strength because you've been taking care of yourself. If you let yourself go and you're not getting sleep and you're getting stressed and you're surrounding yourself with negative people, when the drama comes, it is going to be a lot worse. Been there, done that, not anymore. We're not going there anymore. We are going to take care of ourselves, take care of our space, and make sure that when things happen, you are fortified and ready. Set realistic goals. I'm not saying think small. Think big, think long, think wide, think far, really dream. Imagine the grandest vision of yourself and chop them up into little bites you can do day by day. You do this part and this part. It's like when you go to clean a closet or a corner. It's really hard to do things at one time, right? You have to take one box, go through it, throw it away, and wait a week. Another box, throw it away, and in a few weeks, the corner's clear. Now, people want to get it all done at one time, and I get that I'm more that way. And if you do that, you might find yourself overwhelmed and paralyzed, right? So just be reasonable with yourself. Be reasonable that the big dreams happen because you are mastering the small little steps along the way. It can be annoying, it can be depressing, it can be slow, but the story of the tortoise and the hare, right? The tortoise will get there eventually, and eventually is okay. It's got to be okay. And the big one is learn from adversity. Just learn, right? When something happens and you find a space to get back on your feet, reflect in a way that is loving and forgiving, not in a way of self-judgment. Turn the judgment off. It happened because it happened. Maybe it's your fault. That's not the point. The point is it happened and it's time to reflect and learn from it and take every situation as a chance to learn to get better and add it to your toolbox of survival so that resilience quotient goes up, because let's face it, there is a lot going on. There's a lot going on. It's shocking to me what people do to each other, what they say about each other, what they're willing to allow to happen to others, sometimes in the name of power and greed and money. Which is why I began to make this video, is because I want to believe that I'm not alone. The only way through this is together. So do what you can, do your share, and start with yourself, with resilience. Develop a growth mindset. Practice self-care. Build strong relationships. Develop a growth mindset. Set reasonable and realistic goals. Learn from adversity. Every day. Every day. And if you look at it as an adventure, it's not so overwhelming. And if it gets overwhelming, sit down, take a break. Take a day off, have a self-care day, have a cry day, have an ugly cry. Those help too. Find a friend, don't do those alone if you don't have to. But seriously, life is there for the taking, and you're not going to get what you want without resilience, so you got to strengthen it up and withstand the shenanigans and be the best version of yourself. It works. It works. Please like, subscribe, share. Please spread the word of love and light, of curiosity, of self-love, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, all the things we need to have a fulfilling life and to make the lives of others better. We can do this together. Please help and share, and thank you for watching. See you there.